So none of you are gonna watch to the end of the video, so there's probably gonna be a couple people upsetty in their spaghetti in the comments like instantly. So before you even look at the actual video, yes, this was a joke. Yeah. No, I'm not saying Unholy Death Knights are absolutely busted. Actually, I mean, it looks bad, but their damage is nowhere near what Boomies were able to do. Yeah. The only thing I guess I'm trying to make with this video is, hey, look at that dot damage. Yeah. Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Darren, and I felt like it's time to jump into a little bit of Death Knight gameplay. I felt that maybe I should explore in some new builds ever since the BFA pre-patch came out, and I think it's definitely worth checking it out. So far I got my bars laid out, and I got my Talon build, and you can take a quick look at that, but it's just something I'm playing around with right now. I'm not sure if I'll stick with it. I'm not even sure if it'll do any damage whatsoever. So the idea is we kind of want to, well, as Unholy, get in there, right, with a pet, and try to do as much damage as possible. Hopefully some spread pressure damage, you know, just spread the dots and spread the diseases and whatnot, and that's generally all how we play. That's very you know, straightforward. And there's a few other abilities we use here and there, like yeah, so there's that. And just want to make sure that everybody's dotted up, make sure that none of the dots are off, make sure that everybody has a little bit of dot. It looks like the team went with a bunch of, what the f is up with so many boomkins? It's like a 5-man boomy team. Hello? How did this happen? Blizzard, hello? That's a lot of boomies. That's gonna be a lot of damage. A lot of balance damage. Yeah, that's simple as that. We just want to make sure that the whole team is under pressure, and that's really about it. That's generally the playstyle of the whole spec, is to make sure that the whole team is pressured. The pressure is going out in AoE fashion. I got my cheerleaders with me. You would think that those are actually pets, but I decided to grab a glyph to make them into cheerleaders. What their idea and the whole purpose is to kind of be my bodyguard, my posse, and that is all I want them to do. And the reason I want to do this is because my ego is something that needs to be inflated every single day of my life. So now that we've gotten the enemy team in this insanely amazing fight, and we're doing some decent damage, you know, not too high, not too low, just a decent chunk of damage, we are gonna go and back to either Mines or Light. I'm not even sure which one we should go to. How's Lighthouse doing? It's doing just fine. We don't want to play defense. We're actually losing points. We're losing damage when we're playing defense. So instead, what we're going to do is try to see if we can make a something happen over at the Lighthouse. We do have a healer, hopefully not gonna follow us. But we okay. Well, they took Lighthouse. There's a bunch of boomies, and that makes me a little bit uncertain about how I wanna deal with the enemy. I'm just gonna kind of scout out and gonna see where they go. I'm kind of hoping the enemy groups up, because as Unholy Death Knight is a lot better if enemies grouping up and take damage from the dots. It makes it that much easier to spread. It's kind of like sharing needles with your junkie friends. If you guys share one needle, it's a lot better. Trust me, it's totally a lot safer. It is just overall better for the environment. You know, sharing is caring. Now, my ghouls are still hanging right next to me. They're still on passive, as they're meant to be, which is an integral part of this build, actually. So the ghouls are on passive. That man is trying to run away. We don't want that to happen. The dots are about to fall off here. We can refresh our dots here. Make sure this guy's dots are refreshed as well. And that's really all we're doing. What we can also do is sit down on the ground. It's not going to let us because of the damage over time abilities. I got disarmed, but this is a good thing. Part of the fun of Unholy Death Knight is the fact that your weapon doesn't really matter to you that much. As you saw, I'm actually kind of not swinging my weapon nearly as much as you would expect me to. But it's not that bad for the spec. Trust me, I am actually playing this as optimally as I humanly can. I'm trying to make sure that I'm just relaxing. You know, I can enjoy the river, I can enjoy the environment, and it looks like the enemies are going to be backing up. And I don't want to make my rotation too complex, but sometimes you'll put a slow on the enemy. I won't use it too many times just so you guys can get the base build for this, because I feel like if I give you guys advanced stuff, if I give you advanced builds and advanced guides, it might fly over a lot of you guys' heads, because it takes a lot of time to develop something like this, develop this kind of play and this kind of gameplay on an Unholy Death Knight. I'm going to run back to my I'm dead. Sometimes you run back to your healer and they completely ignore who you are because you are a short green goblin, but trust me, even if you're a goblin, you might be a man and or a woman with a large heart. So make sure you just put your heart into the battleground and just keep trying to do the most amount of damage. Just you don't even need to try to do the most amount of damage. You don't need to know the best rotation possible. You just need to put your heart and soul into the and the effort into it, and the numbers really do come for themselves. What we'll do is we'll put as much spare pressure in here. We're gonna die, it's okay. Sacrifices need to be made sometimes. But we'll, while we're not over there on the other side of the team where we can do the most amount of damage, just putting up a little bit of damage over time can just do a little bit extra damage to you. It can just give you a little bit extra damage. It won't be some insane kind of number. It won't be, you know, the only type of damage. You're just trying to help out your team. But again, it's all about having a big heart. It's all about rushing in there. It's all about just telling the enemy, hey, I'm not afraid of you. I am going to hold my ground. That is the most important part. And we have a warrior trying to take the flag. And the best thing we could do is just not stand in the starfall. And make sure to sit. You know, sometimes you gotta take a rest, sometimes you gotta take a break. Let the damage over time do their own thing. And of course, ghouls need to be on passive. That is a very important part about this build. Ghouls have to be on passive. It looks like there's gonna be traps all over the place, so I'm gonna be the guy to eat all these traps if at all humanly possible. Yes, and we're gonna get hit with an aim shot. It looks like we might actually have to run inside the house. Hey, we got a heal. Isn't that nice? That's really cool about Death Knight. Death Knight doesn't really have a lot of self-heal, so it's good to pick up a heal here and there from time to time. Alright, so now we got the whole enemy team attacking our friendly, shaman, and he's taking a lot of damage right now, but we are, again, we're trying to just hold the base down, and it looks like we're not going to be able to do much here. So what we want to do is maybe run inside the house. Looks like one of my ghouls ate one of the traps, which is not a good idea. Generally not a good idea. But that's why you keep them passive, so in case you run over anything that might trip you up, you know, you don't want anything to stop your damage, even though you're doing very, very little of it. And it looks like Horde actually wins this battleground. It was actually a very tough, very close battleground. Very close call. I'm glad I was able to do what I can to help my team contribute in this victory. You know, trying to do what I can, where I can, and I'm kind of eating my own bullshit as I'm making this video. Woo! That was kind of neat. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry about that. So, okay.